Where's the camera? Okay, in that monitor?
Oh, still got nothing.
Nothing.
No, it is on.
Is my microphone on?
Check.
Microphone.
Shit, what's going on? Check. Check. Seriously.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Now I got
Way
it.
better. Yeah. Easy fix.
Now I
easy
got
fix.
Dude, I love the sweater.
Oh, now the Beats by Dre are really broken.
Oh,
I'll tell you what. Here, I have working set.
Joe to the rescue. We're good.
We got a
Those were so beat up, Mike Gregg. Like, seriously.
good job.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all good, man. No, come on.
We really don't have any
No.
callers, so you don't really need
Caller?
them that much. But
I can.
Do we have a caller?
it helps.
Telemarketer thing over here.
Hello.
All right, I can. Nope, I don't hear myself.
Check.
Check. 1, 2.
Check.
He's determined to use them.
what do we got?
Chickity check.
All right, ready?
I'm good.
Ready?
Okay.
Go.
That's great.
Just take it off.
Hello there.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
That's all right. Can you hear me now?
I can hear myself.
What are you using the Connect for a camera mic?
Yeah, hang on. We're live.
Cordial cherries. That's so festive. You know, and I think it goes across all of these holiday borders. It could be for Christmas, for Hanukkah, for Kwanzaa.
Hello?
Are you creaming the cherries?
I always cream the cherries.
For the people who don't believe and just want to have a dinner party or a good time, cordial cherries covered in milk chocolate.
All right, folks. I hope you all enjoyed the interlude free to the show. We are wetting that dick down right here at Comedypipe. We are wetting the dick down. Damn right. Wow. That's a fun start to the show right there.
Love that
Yeah.
moment when Dwayne Murphy Jr. goes all metal.
Cherry
Death
cordial
metal.
discussion.
Please stay tuned for the next hour, folks. My friends call me 3D. Welcome to the show. This is Pipedream, comedypipe.com.
Hello.
Hello. Quick round of the room. I don't know why everything's going in and out there. Jefferson, how are you, sir?
Not bad, man. What's happening?
Technical difficulties up the wall.
Know that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Me either.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, my child.
Oh, Jefferson, quick, tell us. Us.
Streaming live on there, so just go to YouTube and search out Comedypipe. You'll find us. We're on Reddit too. Yeah, I saw you put it up there.
Finally,
again. That's
finally, I
fucking cool, man.
remembered the Reddit.
Yeah, that's
Try-
like 2
try
weeks
and
in a row.
2 weeks in a row, trying
Beautiful.
to get the social media thing going.
Yeah, and we
To
still
try
got
and-
Facebook and Twitter, Instagram too. Just go all those. Search out Comedypipe. You'll find us. It's easy.
It's
All
easy.
over the interweb.
It's
All
easy.
over it, man.
Joe Green, how are you?
I'm all right.
Thanks for. It's been a great evening.
You
We're in the
okay,
middle
man?
of a snowstorm. Yeah, no, I'm a little. It was a.
You're all verklempt.
I'm a little verklempt. There was one technical difficulty after another, and it's all because it got really cold in the studio, and I didn't want to be down here on the computer, so I took the laptop that I use for the show and disconnected a bunch of things that I lacked to plug it back in. So that's always fun, but I at least think we're recording this show.
Yeah.
I know it's definitely going on the YouTube on
Sweet.
comedypipe.com. We got that streaming. Hopefully the audio is working as well. I really hope so. Joe
I can
Green is
hear it.
praying for me. Teresa, how are you, darling?
What's going on? You want a cordial cherry?
I
It's
don't know.
covered in milk chocolate.
I don't
It's
know
very
if I'm ready for a
festive.
cher-
And
for a
some other
cherry.
stuff.
I need to just calm down.
Uh-oh.
That's just awesome. I love when the audio goes out.
Yeah.
Somebody
Oh, shit.
unplugged that.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Jefferson hit it with his foot.
No
Yeah,
need
that
to
was-
get verklempt, darling.
Yeah,
No need
Jesus
for verklempt.
Christ.
My bad.
That's 2 Jesus Christ, 3
Listen,
Jesus Christ, 4 Jesus
listen.
Christ, 5 Jesus.
Easy
You can't
now.
stop
Way
saying
to
it.
go, Benedict Arnold.
I never say that in the show.
Jeez, hi.
That's
Trying to get
a
my
lot.
own
And,
Here.
and there's Jews in the room.
Take
so
an asthma
it's
inhaler,
so-
for God's sakes.
There's Jews in the room. It just
Yeah,
doesn't,
man.
it doesn't have the same
know.
the same thing.
Jews in the
It's-
room. That's the name of the band.
Yeah, Jews in the room.
Jews in the room.
It's gonna be like a modern indie klezmer band.
Everyone knows Teresa as
What's a
the Jew in the room, and now I what I didn't know was our guest this evening, comedian Mikael Gregg, is another Jew in the room.
Oh, that's
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Another Jew in the room.
It's tribal.
There you go. It doesn't happen often, Teresa. Like you enjoy it. Enjoy it.
I'm reveling. I'm
Yes,
reveling.
yes,
This is beautiful. I'm
yes.
gonna go get my yarmulke.
Yeah, you can talk food that we have no idea what words you're even saying.
Matzo balls.
Like a
I know.
knish. Who wants a
Yeah.
knish with some spicy mustard?
Yeah.
Oh God, they don't know what those things are.
That sounds good, right?
No
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
From the
what
street
knish
corner in
is.
New York City.
You don't know what
Wicked
knish is?
No.
Okay, it's potato wrapped in dough, fried.
Ah,
Yeah.
it's to die for.
Doesn't sound bad.
Seriously.
Is it, yeah,
It's like a
is
pot
it similar to
All
a
right.
pierogi?
Chinese food.
Yes, but it's about the size of a sandwich.
Yeah, it's like
Jesus
it's and they cut it in half. They heat it up and you put the mustard in the middle and you put the two halves together. Take a bite on a cold winter's day. Hot knish in your hand. This is a beautiful thing.
Sounds dirty.
You know what? I
Yeah.
love to take a bite on a cold winter day. Yeah.
Well, this is a cold winter day. You managed to
It fucking
get here
sucks.
safely. It is.
It's a
we
blizzard.
are in the
You know, I
middle
didn't
of it.
realize just how deep those drainage ditches are on the side of the road until tonight as I'm spinning next to it, you know,
Whereabouts were you spinning?
over by the Air Force Base.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're. Oh, damn. It. I snowblowed the driveway real quick before everyone got here,
Oh, you did a good job.
and well, it's. I gotta go do it again, which I'm kind of pissed at. I was really hoping to get away with it would taper off, no more blizzard.
No.
Nah, it's not. It's not happening.
You get the kid do it.
He's 17 months.
Gotta learn early.
Excuses,
I know
excuses.
he's as strong as an ox. He's gigantic, but
He doesn't have to use the blower. He can shovel.
That's right.
Fine.
Strap him up to a plow. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh,
He'll love it.
please, I blush
Yeah,
easily,
yeah.
Michael Gregg.
He probably would love it. So what I didn't say was, yes, this is live December 10th, 2014, show 110, folks.
110.
110.
Wow.
It's a nice round number.
It's a nice round number.
Yeah, it's an even number.
Yeah.
100, 100's a nice round.
Yeah, no, 100 would be,
110.
yeah,
All right, all right.
puntacular right
11
there.
with a zero after this.
Puntacular.
Yeah, I was trying to puntastic.
Puntang
puntacular,
2014.
puntacular.
Sorry.
We're gonna go to the national pun championships.
Really?
Yeah, we have a pun team.
You didn't know about those, did you?
No, I didn't know about the pun team. Sounds funny.
It's not bad.
Welcome.
There you go.
He pa-
Puntacular.
He passed the test.
Puntacular. So, Michael, you've been doing comedy for a long time. Like the research team was like, "Wow, this is he's seasoned. He's seasoned." I haven't known you very long.
Like beef
I think
jerky.
I consider we recently met within the last year.
Yeah, there's been a few times where we've been in the
Yeah.
same room drinking.
I went up on stage, but I was probably there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's there you go.
And yeah, I did my first open mic in March of 1986
1986.
Damn.
when I was living in Houston.
So you're from Texas,
No, from Long Island,
from Long Island.
but I went to school in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're born and raised in Long Island.
There you go.
Went to Texas.
Yep.
Then went West Coast.
I mean, I went out to the West Coast a little bit just to do some time on stage and stuff like that.
Okay.
But, I mean, I lived in Texas.
In Texas.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I went to school, did the whole school college thing, did the open mics, graduated, had my degree, and then decided to try to be a comedian professionally. Nothing else.
Can I ask a question?
No. So
Yeah. Carry on. Carry
Well,
on.
being from Long Island, because I could spot that accent a mile away. What was
She
it
just
like?
went way more Long Island when talking about Long Island.
I
know,
did.
I heard
I
that
did.
too.
I felt it.
Yeah.
But what was it like being in Texas,
well,
coming from the East Coast?
well, it's not just being a Long Islander. It's being a New York Jew,
Yeah.
which was fun because
We got a Jew in the state.
in the early '80s.
Notify the Grand Wizard.
Are there other kinds like those Indiana Jews? They're really nice. Those
Well-
New York ones, boo. You know, like
In the early '80s, I had the thick curly black hair
Okay.
and had the mustache going on, Hall & Oates kind of style.
Yeah.
And I got beat up in a McDonald's bathroom for being Iranian.
Wow.
So, and trying to explain to them wasn't going to work. So
Iranian, really?
that's ironic.
Iranian.
That is fun.
Well, it was after the whole Iran thing, and as far as
Brutal.
these three guys were concerned, I looked enough Iranian to them.
You were in Texas, so I'm guessing you were a couple shades
That
darker just
sucks
from
a
being in the
lot.
Little
sun.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shitty thing. That
Well,
sucks.
I mean,
That's a hate crime.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, totally. Well,
Like
that's-
Yeah, it's
double.
borderline.
Yeah.
It's,
It's like a double hate crime because I got the wrong guy.
yeah. Well, but telling him I was from New York wasn't going to help, or
yeah.
the religion-
if
Yeah.
anything, it would hurt you.
Yeah. So
Ain't nothing worse than an Iranian than a Yankee.
and let's see, I
You filthy Jew! Sorry.
one of my fraternity brothers, his dad was the Grand Dragon of the KKK in Louisiana.
Nice.
Whoa.
That's cool.
That was cool.
That's intense.
Actually,
Did you meet the guy?
the father?
Yeah.
No, but they did have a KKK headquarters about a mile away from the college that I was in. Yeah, they had it was the size of a 7-Eleven, and it said KKK headquarters. So, and
Wow, that's unbelievable.
so yeah, it was, and then they had Klan radio.
Klan
Oh.
radio.
Gee, I wonder what
House
they
been
talked
stored
about.
to me, been sold.
It's a funny
Welcome
thing.
to W
No,
Clan.
you'd listen to Klan radio. It was on Sunday nights, and you'd listen to the Klan
I
radio
totally
show.
would. Yeah.
66.6
I would give-
KKK radio.
I
And
We're
it would be-
live.
It would be 50 minutes of listen to your parents, do your work, study hard, be a good person, don't forget to go to church, or all the things. You'd sit there going, yeah, this is an inspirational message. Then the last couple of minutes is, we hate everybody who's a minority, so screw the Jews.
we know the words.
Yeah. Don't forget to spit on a Jew tonight,
But
children.
it was like, you're sitting there the whole show going, I like this show. And then the last couple of minutes is like, oh yeah.
That's how they,
I get it now.
that's how they get you.
KKK.
You were
radio.
taken to Oz,
I was taking-
the land of Oz.
I'm still blown away that was the. Do you remember what the actual call sign or
the call sign.
like number? Yeah, like
Oh,
radio
the
call
ra-
sign.
Radio station.
Like what it really was.
I thought you meant when the call sign of the three guys who beat me up in the McDonald's bathroom.
Jew. That's all right.
No, I don't remember. I just remember listening to the radio show. There was a lot of stuff. I used to listen to, but I was just always listening to the radio. I mean, that was the thing. Just love the radio stuff.
All right.
So, what was the impetus for comedy?
Impetus.
The impetus. Well,
That's a good word, right? It's like an SAT word.
That's like a $5 word. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty
It
good.
was the 80s. Things were happening.
yeah, I started going to the comedy workshop, which was a place where Kinnison and Brett Butler got started, and Bill Hicks was there.
Nice.
Wow.
And so, I would sit there and watch Hicks and the rest of the Texas Outlaws every night. And, I'd show up every night. So after about maybe 2 or 3 months of that, they just stopped charging me, which made it easier for me to go. So I went more often.
Oh yeah.
And,
Wow.
and then eventually I just went up on stage and started doing it. And, that was cool. It wasn't hard to get in. I mean, there were comedy clubs everywhere. There's like 6 clubs in Houston, and there's like 4 or 5 in Dallas, and they were just everywhere. So I did shows from up to the Great Lakes, Georgia, Florida, Denver, and I think it's still there. The Comedy Works of Denver or Fort Collins, and so.
Oh yeah, it's still there.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying there's a Comedy Works here in Albany, and so it's a name that's out there. And,
I don't know if that's true. I just like agreeing.
Sounds good.
There you go.
Sure.
So-
Yeah.
Why not?
Wow.
So that was the story. That was my comedy career. I did that from I did that in the late 80s, and eventually I stopped doing it in 1990.
So what happened in 1990?
I decided to use my
You knocked her
degree.
up.
You all right?
Not my degree. I had a college degree. Then I realized I could make a lot more money.
Yeah.
if I were to actually
longer hours,
a little bit longer hours, yeah,
much longer hours.
One versus 40. So
Yeah. It's
I love being a comedian. The 2-day work week with the 5-day weekend. So
Oh,
if you can make the money.
if
That's the catch. If you can pay your bills.
I was making 10 grand a year back in the 80s, which still sucks.
As a comedian.
but
As a comedian.
it's still in the 80s. That
impressive.
was, it's probably 30, 40 now.
I guess, back then an opening act, an MC would get $100. A feature would get, 150 to 200, and that's what I was doing, open MCs and
So it sounds like not much has changed.
If I was making 10
if
grand
anything
a
less.
year,
Yeah.
10 grand a year is a good, that's a good benchmark.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice round number.
Yeah,
It's a nice round number.
so you lived the
also
life.
even.
yeah. I lived the life. I lived in my car. I once in a while had a club owner that would put me up in a hotel. I remember these hotels usually have signs that said things like room for $25 a night,
Mhm.
and it was the kind of place you'd expect for $25 a night. Run the shower for heat and
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
a lot of comics that can't say they made 10 grand in a year doing it.
No.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
That's cool.
so-
That's good.
And you had to work hard for it.
Yeah, that's
yeah. Well,
I
respectable.
mean, 7 days a week,
Yeah.
I
it was
imagine.
it was fun because like I said, I was traveling around and I met Bud Freeman from the Improv, did the show with him, and when I came up to New York City, I was hanging around Manhattan there for a while, and Hicks, I ran into Bill Hicks at Dangerfields,
All right.
and we were sitting there talking, everything like that, and he knew me from Houston, and then Rodney walked in. And so he introduced me to Rodney, and Rodney was as drunk as
Sounds about right.
yeah. I mean, I don't think Rodney even knew I was in front of him, but he introduced me to Rodney, and then he said to Rodney, he says, this is my friend Mike from Houston. Are you going up on stage? And Rodney says, yeah. And he goes, well, can Mike bring you up? And he says, sure. And so I brought Rodney up on stage at his own club. So that's my
tremendous.
that's my peak.
That's
my high watermark.
That's
year
that's
was
a nice
that?
little peak.
That was 88.
Wow.
Jesus.
Oh, and everybody kept asking me if I was Jerry Seinfeld's little brother.
Well,
Because-
at least you were
Yes.
being mistaken
Because-
for a Jew, not an
Yeah,
Iranian.
no, I mean,
Because-
there is a little
because
resemblance.
At that time, we looked a lot alike.
Okay.
And I kept wondering who Jerry Seinfeld was because
Who
But
is-
now that you said that and I'm looking at your profile, I can see it.
Yeah.
It's turn to the side. That's a little Seinfeld.
great. Yeah.
yeah.
The nose. You even have the sweater with the neck thing there. It's very nice.
I have a neck.
I'm kind of jealous of the sweater right now. I could totally go for a little
I like
neck
this
warm.
sweater.
Yeah. I'm like,
You
that's
might not leave
sweat-
with it.
Uh-oh.
Sweater wars here on Pipedream.
Sweater with a foreskin. That's it.
My kid stretched mine all out, and it just looks like one of those like girl sweaters that has the floofy, like super turtleneck thing that hangs over. You know what I'm talking about? Do you have any of those?
I do.
My kid stretched my turtleneck out so much that it's
Those are good titty sweaters.
Yeah,
Those-
yeah, you are right.
And you've got
You
good
are
too.
right. See, we may have to have you try on his sweater later on in the show just to.
Are we all going to be swapping clothing?
Why not?
It's the
We're gonna be
it's the
wet-
Comedy Pipe holiday clothing swap.
Holiday wetting that dick down with Mikael Gregg here on Pipedream.
YouTube special.
You just sounded like you were pushing out a fart. Like the end there is like, ugh.
I can't. No, what? Yeah.
So, Michael, being a doctor, I mean, you must find a lot of material with patients. I mean, I know I am a hypochondriac. In fact, I love the fact that you're a doctor. I can't wait to contact you. Give WebMD a break.
There you go. So yeah, that was the degree that I got. I went to school down
Yeah.
in Houston.
Bunch of years.
But well, a few years, yeah.
Yeah.
And I got my degree in biology, and I'm a chiropractor, doctor of chiropractic, and so I do that, and I made more money as a chiropractor. than I did-
Lots
I
more.
bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The hourly.
That
I could
makes
actually
sense.
afford to not sleep in my car.
Your rates are the reason why I don't go to a chiropractor. Yes, that's I
I
just,
charge dollars at a time. Yes.
I suffer through the pain, and it eventually goes away,
Well, you
and
medicate.
I limp. Yeah, I medicate. Absolutely, damn right I do. When my kid is like climbing on my back,
Oh, that's the best.
and punching me, like I was saying to Teresa earlier, repetitively punching me in the junk. That's how I get my back spasms, because yeah, little guy's got a little power behind that punch.
You said 17 months old, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. They respond. They really respond well at that age to just slapping them down with a pillow. And at least I did with.
Do they make tiny handcuffs?
No, I'm serious about the
It's
pillow.
just like a little kid just like clack, clack, like they're on cops.
I don't know. I
So
wouldn't want to
so
research
I was
that.
just thinking zip tie, you know, like screw, like
Whole lot
let's,
easier.
yeah, just zip tie the little motherfucker. That's
Whoa.
there's
No, but I was gonna
if
say,
you're not a parent, you, like
yeah, I've got 2 boys,
Mhm.
and I used to love, just pillow fights with the boys. I would hit them with like 5 or 10 pillows, and they keep coming.
oh yeah,
They love.
no,
that
he
stuff.
is my son is relentless. He is the size of a 3-year-old, and just ridiculously strong.
corn fed.
Like
Yeah,
a great,
yeah, I
like
mean,
a Great Dane.
He's it's kind of weird watching him at a playground with other kids, and older kids come up to him and start talking to him at their level, thinking he's cognizant of what they're saying. We gonna have another headphone tragedy here tonight.
Technical difficulties
The
here on
broken
Comedy
beats,
Pipe.
the broken beats by Dre were broken once again live.
Sorry,
Joe,
I
did
didn't
you
mean that.
did you just headbutt the microphone?
It's like- that was intense.
I was gonna say, I thought he nodded off and he just headbutted it. Yeah. So going back to kids not
yeah.
So when my boys were, I think the oldest one was like 5 years old, and his younger brother was at the time 4. We used to go to the Little League, and the younger one wasn't in the game, so he would just kind of sit off in the corner,
Mhm.
and he played in the dirt with his trucks while his big brother was playing t-ball.
Okay.
And so after about maybe like 10 games, I noticed that he always played with the same kid, with the dirt and the trucks and everything like that. So I said to him, I said, Tyler, I see you always playing with the same kid over there. He goes, yeah, he's my friend. I go, what's his name? He goes, I don't know.
That's the sign of a true friendship right there.
There you
You
go.
don't even care what their name
No,
is.
it was
Just-
just
But we play good.
that's right.
Yeah,
Pure
and
playing.
we're here against our will every week.
Name was on a need to know basis. He did not need to know it. It
Yeah.
was just the kid who was in the dirt with the trucks.
Yep.
What's his name? Why ruin it with names?
That's right.
Exactly.
Seriously.
And that'll come back and
Let's
help
just
him in
keep it up.
college.
Sure, sure.
creating
No name. Just
social
play with
skills.
me.
So has he like matured? Does he like ask people's names now?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
now they're teenagers, so
Yeah.
they're into all
15,
different things.
16.
15 to 16 years old.
That's got to be insane.
Yes. The older one, we had a small home invasion. I trusted him. I gave him his very first test. First test. Okay, I'm going to let you have one friend over the house while Mom and I go out to dinner. This is your test.
Fair.
Nobody else. I don't want anything going on.
That seems relatively easy.
Right. It was, and for this first,
this is the classic rule number 1.
yeah, for the first test, had dinner and an hour or so later, he gives me I left him with.
Uh-huh.
So I knew that there was trouble, and I had Mike on the phone, and I said, all right, Mike, leave the house. And he said, you sure? Yeah, get out of my house. And so I went home, and I said to my son, I said, why was Mike in the house? And he goes, well, I tried to enforce the rule. You told me nobody else allowed in the house. And so me and Sam were watching TV. Sam's the kid I said he could have,
Huh?
and he says, Mike came to the front door, and I told him, no, my dad says, just Sam, you can't come in. So then Mike starts screaming out on the front lawn, I guess like say anything type style, let me in. But we wouldn't let him in. So, then my son says he goes upstairs and starts screaming at the window from the bathroom window, go away. And the kid wouldn't go away. So then he goes back downstairs to watch TV. Left the window open upstairs. So Mike scales up the side of the house, climbs in through my bathroom window,
Nice.
comes downstairs. This is the way my son tells me the story. And he scared me and Sam because I wasn't expecting him in the house, but he wouldn't leave. So I was screaming at him, he wouldn't leave. Finally, I had to take a knife out of the drawer. And I said, what? And he goes, don't worry, Dad, I didn't stab him. I just poked him a few times with the knife. And he goes, but I'm screaming at him and I'm poking him. And that's when Sam got scared because he thought something bad was going to happen. So he ran upstairs and started hiding in Mom's closet. And then I knew things were starting to get out of control. And that's when I called you. It was like, okay. That's when things get. So I said to him, look.
It escalated quickly.
Yeah, it escalated quickly. So I said to him, look, Mike's our friend. We don't stab or poke our friends with knives. And so, that's rule number 1. You were mature when you told him not to come in the house, and you were less mature, but still covering the rules when you were screaming it out the bedroom window upstairs.
No murder, no murder.
Is this the summer school valedictorian?
Summer school valedictorian, yes, yeah.
That's big on the merch scene.
Oh, thank you. Yes, yeah. He is my muse. So anyhow, and I told Sam, the friend, I said, I don't care what shit's going down in my house, Sam. You don't hide in my wife's closets. You know.
Oh my God, was he covered in bras?
He no, not that day, but he has.
Oh my gosh.
But
This is not his first time in or
This
out
is
of the
Doubtfire
closet.
2.0, yeah.
these boys will do anything if you just dare them twice. So
They sound easy.
there you go. Yes, and he's my summer school valedictorian. He had the highest grades of any kid in summer school, and so he was my inspiration.
It's a great campaign.
Thank you.
Everybody out in comedy in Albany
T-shirts
loves
are
it.
available.
There you go.
If you'd like a small home invasion, Mike's for hire too. Just a small one. Won't steal anything. He'll just scare the crap out of you.
That's actually, you could make some money doing that.
Make-
People would. I could imagine people needing something like that.
You mean sneaking into the house?
To like teach kids a lesson or play a prank on your partner or whatever. You hire somebody, they pop up in the house, they scream a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody gets a little
I did
tweet.
do a video, and it is on our YouTube, and it was called Nut Punchagram. Me and a friend did a short skit where you could call and hire a ninja, and he would jump out of the smoke, and like you could hire him to punch
Like Kato.
person of choice, in the nuts that was pissing you off, and it was fair rates, but great
I think
output.
with the small home invasion product though, you don't have to hurt anybody. You just sort of show up and scare the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, but there's something about
And then-
scaring the shit out of somebody and proving a point by punching them in the nuts.
But that sounds painful.
Yeah, that's
I
the
mean, I don't
point.
even have nuts, and
Yeah,
I think that
It's
sounds
painful, but it's not murder. It's not poking with a knife.
I don't see how anything could go wrong with us.
At my house, it will go not your way.
Just got a couple weaponry in every room. That's
It's home invasion.
His
I've
dog-
been waiting for this. Since '98, man. I've been waiting for this.
your dogs are so huge they know how to shoot all the weaponry. You got to get through the dogs before you can get to me.
That's right. Dogs even have guns.
I'm due.
They have little daggers, little doggy daggers. Stainless steel.
No, it's a joke. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
As they just keep going.
You're funny. You're funny. You're funny. You have a real funny mouth.
Welcome to the Rambo Green household.
Yeah. So I got back into comedy last year. So there you go.
Yeah, 2030. Like,
And that's that.
were you actually working at the Comedy Works?
I have never had a weekend gig.
Okay.
at Comedy Works here in Albany. I've done the Thursday showcase 2 or 3 times, a dozen times.
See, I wasn't saying like on stage at the Comedy Works. I'm gonna say working at the Comedy Works.
Is it like waiting table? What do you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, like what, taking drink orders?
See, the research team, your Facebook page is very interesting.
Oh, that.
So, so we've got like you've got a straight up timeline. Your Facebook page is, the research team tells me, is very in depth, yet not completely accurate.
Well,
So that's interesting.
There might have been some magnification of credit. What are we talking about? What specifically?
No,
I mean, when I say I worked at the Comedy Works, I mean
2013 started working at the Comedy Works.
Right, doing well.
Just, okay,
It's
okay.
work. I go
So,
up on
okay.
stage, and that's work.
See, this is where Facebook sucks balls.
Ooh.
Because I understand what you're saying.
Right.
Guess who's not going to be a sponsor?
on your Facebook on your Facebook page, it's your
Can't imagine why.
yeah, it's your comedy Facebook page. If you're touting the places that you have worked,
Right,
understood.
right. Because there's
There we go.
there's
Yeah.
nothing I could click where it says
Okay,
performed at.
Comedy Cellar.
Club I performed at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this all makes sense. This is way cooler than 1990. You left job at comedian.
Right.
Yeah. So that makes way more sense. 1994, got married.
Yeah.
That happened.
That happened. So I'm assuming right at about
Good for
1990, you found a girlfriend.
No, I was dating even before 1990.
He said that
Okay.
happened. Like he
Dating
survived
while
it.
you
Yeah.
got married.
Yeah. Well, this is just the timeline here.
I actually I was dating in high school, so
Well,
So there.
we're dating the woman you married.
I dated her before I got married, but I met her in 1992.
He said it like
Okay,
he survived
okay.
an earthquake.
So
Like he got through
it-
an earthquake. That happened.
Okay, so from 1990 to 1992, where were you?
I was
Off the grid, man.
That's right. I was living in the Capital District, setting up my practice, and I was a single doctor abroad.
There's
Wow, that sounds
right there.
sexy.
There's where the money was right there.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah,
smart move.
No, the money was just there were no expenses, there were no kids, there was no house, there was no wife. It was just anything I made was all for me. Had a sports car. It was going out every night, going.
See, if I were you,
Doctor by day.
especially at that time, there would be two things if the money was flowing that I would buy. One is a DeLorean.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The second
I don't even know what that is.
is a Night Industries 2000.
Stop it.
DeLorean. That's the car from Back to the Future.
Back to the Future time machine.
Gull Wings.
I mean, I know the movie, but I didn't know
That
that's
car.
what the car is called.
The car is called the DeLorean.
I didn't pay that close attention, I
Yes.
guess.
Wow, that's
John DeLorean, car designer, came up with
Yeah.
his own line of cars with wing doors.
Gull Wings.
You know what I hear when you guys
Stainless
say
steel
that?
chassis and body.
Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Wah, wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah.
All I know is Michael J. Fox
Space-
would not use it to go into the future. at
Yeah,
this
no,
point.
no.
shit.
Space age looking car.
Oh my God.
To try to explain
There
it
you
to
go.
her.
What car would they make Back to the Future with now? What would be the car?
Well, they can put those type of doors on like anything. It would
But
be
what would
like
be
Lamborghini style
But
doors,
what
and
would be-
whatever
what would be
car
the cool
sponsor
car?
would do
What
it.
would be the cool car? Would he go racing Back to the Future in a cube?
Probably a Mustang of
maybe
some sort.
you're not all that far off from what marketing may actually try to pull off.
Okay.
A cube that does one of the sides completely opens with the gull wing. So that's what pissed me off. You watch the Transformers movies.
Yes.
It's so car marketing. It's sickening.
Yes.
It's pure marketing. Some of the movies are okay, some of them sucked, but it's
I have
pure.
the action figures, so I agree.
Yeah. So I'm just, if they actually did a new Back to the Futures, I would not have high hopes on what it would become.
Michael J. Fox goes back to a time before he had Parkinson's.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. It would be great for
Can you
him.
blame
Yeah.
him? I mean,
So the first thing that I
He
would buy
deserves that.
would be a DeLorean. The second would be I would build a Night Industries 2000.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I actually
Night
don't know what that is.
Industry?
Yeah.
Night Industries.
Night Rider.
Oh,
Oh.
Kit.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
I
I
get it
was
now.
seeing how if anybody caught the Night-
Testing the level
Yes,
of
I was
nerddom.
testing it. Yeah.
been on a big Knight Rider kick lately. I
Oh,
saw you put your face on the fucking.
That wasn't even me. That
wasn't
wasn't even me. There was. We had just talked about like the Lamborghini doors. I am a Knight Rider fan. I really do want to build a kit. So I'm in a bunch of these Facebook forums, groups or whatever, and they post pictures of these people that build them.
Are you a Twitter fan of Hoff?
I was
No,
gonna
absolutely
say,
no,
When you
not
say
really.
I'm a Knight Rider fan,
Yeah.
I mean you just go Baywatch on us.
Yeah, see, I'm really not all about the Hoff. I'm about the car. That's the tech level. Yeah. Okay. I'm
Don't lie to
gonna
us,
own
Michael.
up to something that Michael Gregg has probably figured out. He asked me earlier what I do for a living,
Motorhead.
and I told him I build sheds. No, I'm slightly into IT. I have a
You lied to me?
yeah, just a little bit. It was
Fucking
in the
liar.
shed.
It wasn't a
Fucking
lie.
so-
First of all, it wasn't a lie. It just
I have
stretched
built
the truth.
sheds.
He
He
built
was-
that shed.
He was saving
No.
it.
But the geek level that I actually am,
Wordsmithing.
I would want to build one.
All right. Let me test your geekdom.
Okay.
Which Batmobile would you go for?
I will go upstairs and get my 1/15th scale
story night, and then it's, a couple of the comics said you can go down there and you can probably do some time, and it's a place for an open mic. So I went down there, and I was the first guy there of the comics, and so I signed up, and I think I was number 2 or number 3, and a couple of the comics, Dwayne Murphy Jr. and Mike McLaughlin, they showed up, and so they're there, but I was going to go before them. So they watched me go up on stage, and you get, I think, like 5 or 6 minutes. I went up and I said, "Hi, thanks a lot for having me here. I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm going to tell you a couple jokes for a few minutes." And I went through my jokes, and it was dead silent. It was nothing. And after about 5 minutes, I said, "Well, I guess that's pretty much it." And a woman in the front row just screamed, "Thank God, I can't take it anymore." And that was the only laugh for the whole set that I had.
Wow.
And Mike and Dwayne explained to me that they hate comedians there.
Oh.
It's story time, and that's all they want.
Huh.
And so you can do time if you just kind of roll out with a story that's funny. But the moment I said, "Hi, I'm a comedian, I'm going to tell you some jokes," that was pretty much
the precursors to nothing. Because I was going to say,
You were getting lynched.
Listen to your stuff. You are a very good storyteller.
Oh.
Your stuff is very story
It's
driven.
all very personal.
But
It's not
Now, hearing the
contrived.
precursor to
Right.
that,
Yeah.
telling him, "Hi, I'm a comedian here.
Right.
I'm going to do some jokes for you."
Yeah.
Was your death sentence before another word came out of your mouth?
tighten them up like
Yeah.
preparation 8, which was full strength. You know,
Obviously,
You're
they don't appreciate pepper jack cheese.
clearly
You're good at stories. I mean, you're very Cosby-esque.
Cosby.
That's
What,
Well,
Not that you
Yeah.
rape a lot of people.
Without the
but
raping.
Yeah, minus that part.
I'm saying he's
just a little less rapey.
Just a little less raping.
not nearly as rapey, yes.
real skill here,
Oh,
not the other stuff.
Cosby-esque.
yeah.
Okay, no, I'll take that. I know where that comes from.
Yeah.
That sounds like a compliment.
From the good side.
From the good
From
side.
the
3
good
weeks
side.
ago, it was a compliment.
Yeah.
You know, 5 years from now, people will listen to this podcast and go, "Cosby, who was that?"
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's 2013. What's weird about this?
That's,
There you go.
see, we're gonna get our DeLorean and we're gonna go back.
Beautiful.
88.
Way to bring it back.
See?
We're gonna be like,
You're
don't
backwards.
do it. Not in Playboy Mansion. You'll get back in a DeLorean and disappear.
I heard that on the news. They actually out in California, I think the FBI is going to the Playboy Mansion because supposedly someone claimed that they were raped by Cosby, and they're searching 40 years after the accusation, looking for trace evidence at the Playboy Mansion.
What?
There'll be no semen at that house.
Yeah, there'll be
Yeah.
none. No,
It's
none
covered in
whatsoever.
semen.
It's covered. Yeah, they're gonna be like,
They
we
don't
don't
need-
know where to start.
They don't
There's
need black lights in
Cum,
the dark to
semen,
find that.
fucking oils. Oh my
There's- there are
god.
11 million samples. I don't.
You could have an orgasm from just laying on the floor and feeling the vibes from
There's
all
like
that semen.
stalactites of semen there.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
Crazy.
The
Or even
luminol would just be amazing.
stalagmites will go crazy. They're growing.
Holy shit.
no, they're coming off the ceiling and dripping down.
Could you imagine
But still,
being-
imagine come growing up from the bottom.
Could you imagine being the investigator put on that case? Like, yeah, I got to go to the Playboy Mansion, investigate a crime from 40 years ago, some rape.
You can leave your
Yeah.
black light home. You don't need it.
Explain that one to your wife. No, honey, I'm checking this 40-year-old accusation at the Playboy Mansion. Sure. No, really, seriously.
I have to go undercover and spend the night.
Yeah, I'm gonna need about 3 weeks on this one,
Yeah.
Chief.
So you're saying the stories. The biggest thing that if I see a comedian that goes up and bombs and see them sulking, I've been there.
Oh,
You
yeah.
see- you know, that's you go outside and you're in your own little, like, what the fuck happened there? Every room is completely different. You can do verbatim your set 10 times in a row and go 50-50 split on whether it turns out great or absolutely flops.
I hate my stuff. I mean, I sit there and afterwards it's like, oh God, I gotta rewrite this, and I'm always rewriting.
That's probably my worst critic when I was.
I did an audition about 3 months ago to actually get on the rotation there at the Comedy Works, and I've been there about a dozen times, but the owner of the club had never seen me, and so I went and I had asked him if he'd come watch me, and a second before my name was announced, he walked into the room and stood next to me in the back. And so at that moment, I'm very aware that he's in the room, and he just walked in. I didn't even think he was going to come in. And I go up on stage and I told 2 quick jokes that took about 15 seconds each.
Mhm.
And then I got to the third joke and I forgot the punchline. and I just said it wrong. There was no way to negotiate out of it because I had just written it like 2 weeks earlier. And
This was recently.
this was 2 months ago.
This was in October.
I was
I
at
went
that
right
show.
before you.
I was at that
yeah,
show.
that was
Okay.
my birthday
I was
show.
at
that
I went
show.
right
Yeah.
before you.
Yeah, and so I just couldn't remember
Yeah.
how to bail out of it.
Yeah.
And so then I went on and I just did the rest.
Doctor's name, doctor. It was
Yeah.
yeah.
And I thank you for
Yeah.
remembering.
Nah,
it.
yeah. I don't know.
And I said, my partner said, what did my partner say? I have no idea what my
Yeah,
partner said.
yeah.
And so it turns out my partner didn't say anything. So, which is the reason why I couldn't get myself out of it, because I set it up wrong. So then I did 5 minutes, and afterwards the owner was very nice. He was very nice to me. He told me complimentary things about my set, and then he said, I'm gonna want to see you again, and you're gonna need to remember your own material next time. It's like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I expected something obviously would be said to you by someone not knowing who was actually there. I recall you actually pulling it off very nicely. You stumbled. You knew you stumbled. You said you stumbled, but then you carried on, and the rest of your set was actually great.
That was a tough crowd that night.
Yeah, no, I remember the rest of your set.
I
being
had
great.
to yell
I'm
at the
like-
audience
I'm
for
like,
not laughing
yeah.
for like the first, half of my set.
That was a weird,
I actually
weird night.
I looked at the tape that I ran on that, and after I stumbled, then the next 5 minutes, the 6 minutes that I was on stage, it was fine. There was
That's
no-
what I'm saying.
I wasn't even upset with the 5 or 6 minutes. But when you start off by forgetting your third joke, it's not a good audition.
Hey, well,
So
By the way,
He's
we're not
still-
laughing at you.
no,
Yeah.
I'm laughing at
I
you.
was breathing into the mic apparently, and it was made known to me by my
Heavily.
colleagues. It sounded like a phone sex line apparently.
You were
Oh, that's
talking,
what that was?
and I can hear under. I can hear.
So we weren't laughing at you. I was laughing at me. I couldn't. Okay, it's enough. It's enough. We get it.
It was distracting and funny.
I didn't hear it at all.
Wait,
I don't know.
Jefferson
I was
and
paying
Jefferson
attention
and
to
I
our
looked at
guys.
each other, and I was
Yeah.
like, he looked at me. We looked at each other. We're like, it's not us. So we looked over at her, and she's just like, her nose is resting.
I was very engaged in
Resting
Mike's
on the
story
mic.
about comedy.
See, if you want to fix that, either take the fuzzy off that one or take this one.
There. All right.
That's
There. I
the-
got a fuzzy.
That's what those are anti.
No more hot-
mouth breather.
Anti-snoring.
I was,
microphone.
no, I was really because I was at that show with you, and I remember
right.
how tough
You were.
that crowd was.
Yeah.
And I was very frustrated. I was very down at the end of that set.
My wife was there, and she's supportive, but in a wife way.
Yeah.
So
Motherfucker.
so pretty much.
You dragged me out on a Thursday.
I walked out of the room, and I'm standing there over by the bar outside of the club, and I'm just ruminating about how I forgot my joke. And she comes out and she says to me, goes, "Sweetie, that was pretty good, but did you know that you forgot one of your punchlines?" It's like, oh,
Aw.
thank you. Yes. Yeah.
You're gonna be the punch- yeah, as you're biting your lip, you're gonna be the end of the punch or something.
You know what's funny is they can get away with saying shit like that. They'll
Oh,
still get
God,
laid.
Yeah.
We can't. We say something like that, man, done.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It doesn't. There's definitely a double standard on saying something like that.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate. I was only at the
That's it.
Comedy Works once, and I was very fortunate. I had a very good responsive crowd, and that for me that was probably my highlight of doing comedy since having a child. And we'll see. I get to do this every week with these guys. It's great. Show 110. We're wetting that dick down. We're kind of wrapping up. I do want to get to something that we did say last week. We're going to start a slight tradition with Bill Nettleton, one of his quizzes.
Oh yeah.
And I think out of the two quizzes that we talked about, there's only one that is relevant because the other one is a relationship quiz. He's already married. He's got kids. It doesn't. I don't think it really. That one is applicable. And I don't want you to take this.
And if it is, he certainly shouldn't say it here.
So about
Hypercritical.
How many
Nothing
women
that
do
can be used in court.
Yeah.
The Bill Nettleton quiz wrote back in, I don't know, 2010 or whatever, is the Are You a Douche quiz.
Oh.
We all took the Are You a Douche quiz last week, including Bill Nettleton, who forgot it was his quiz because it was so long ago. And out of all of us, guess who the douche was? So it was us and Bill Nettleton.
the most douchey or
Yeah, there's multiple questions. Each have points, and then if your points add up to a certain number, you are a douche.
I'm going with Joe.
I knew he was going to say
Wow.
that. And it's weird because it's
Wow.
Yeah.
like he sees me a lot more than he sees most people in the room. The safe would have been.
He doesn't. He doesn't know me all that well.
Yeah,
he
you
doesn't
can-
know Jefferson at all.
He's like, I'm not going to be back.
Teresa's-
here.
I'm part of the
gonna say
tribe.
I was
Joe
like,
on-
Teresa's the female, so he can't call her out as a douche without getting flack. I understand. It's
But
cool.
I can understand. He knows me.
Yeah.
So I totally. Yeah. That's why he did that.
I took the safe douche.
Safe. Judy and Slip.
Puntang!
Wow. Getting Jedi like here with our
Ooh.
Judeans.
Yeah.
All right, so are you ready for the Are You a Douche quiz?
Wait a minute.
These are not the douches.
Oh wait, we still haven't
Yeah,
done.
I'm not leaving the conversation agreeing that I was the
Shazbot
biggest douche in
shalom.
the room. I'm not having that. No, it was.
I was the douche.
You were the douche.
I was
Really?
the douche.
By like
Wow.
30
I was the
points.
douche.
Like a lot.
Yeah, it was. Where's?
So is this a point score? I mean, can I out douche you?
You can
Possibly.
outdouche me. I
don't
had
think-
10,
doubt it.
12. I had 12 and a half douche points.
12 out of how many?
Out of the if you got 35,
Oh,
you were a douche. So I
think
was the
had
douche
5
out
and
of
a half
yeah.
or
So
something like that.
so we were
Or
just
5.
going whoever out of us had the highest number.
35 is
douche.
35 is
You are a douche.
Oh, you're a mega douche.
But out of
If
all
you-
of us, I am the douchiest.
gotcha.
So
There's no way
that's-
anybody we would have here would be a 35.
Can we give
don't
this?
know.
Can we give
we don't know.
this?
That's what we're trying to find out.
We can give this test to like club owners, can we?
I wouldn't-
Probably.
yes.
I wouldn't do it.
I would just. I
Yeah.
would just. You're a doctor.
The first two questions
You
here
just- you
may
never-
actually like be very. The first question, Michael Gregg, have you ever popped your collar? Popped your like you've got a collar and you pop it up.
Put it up. Oh
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
Like for real, walk around with your pot like
Dude, I grew up in the 80s. I don't
Yeah,
Okay.
he was rocking and rolling
All right.
in 1984.
I got photos of me with
that
my
wasn't
pop
really
collar.
a popped collar though back then, was it? They were a lot fucking bigger. and-
Bet your ass it was.
Yeah.
That's why it was worse.
My dad
Oh,
would
yeah,
pop
well,
his
good point,
collar
good
like
point.
that sometimes.
all right. So that's 2 points.
All right.
So you're on the
That was-
board.
that
You're
was
on the
easy.
board. Ding.
Yeah.
All right. Have you ever had a gaudy haircut?
Yes.
Yes.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
You've had you did say in the 80s
Yeah,
that was a thing. So okay, back then was that a gaudy haircut? We're talking about like the modern douchebag New Jersey shore motherfucker.
Jersey Shore guys.
You
Yeah.
might have to.
Yeah, you had
Oh yeah.
you.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, you were from Long Island.
Yeah.
Oh, those guys down there have that haircut.
that's 3 more douche points.
Whoa.
We're not
Well, you're
off
on
to
the
a
board.
strong start there, Mike. Just
you're,
saying.
you're pretty douchey so far.
And I just want to throw a disclaimer out. This does not like we don't care if you may be a douche. We
I'm
just
just-
want to know.
I'm just gonna say that this is obviously skewed bias against people from Long Island.
Hey, man, I'm just calling it like I see
You
it.
got to take it up with Bill.
Yeah, I was like, where was Bill originally born? Was he like anti? Who would be an anti Long Islander? Is there an anti Long Islander?
New
Anyone
Hampshire?
not from Long Island.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
that's where
Vermont.
he's from.
Vermont, New Hampshire would be as opposite of Long Island.
Oh,
as I
yeah.
get.
All right.
Ben and Jerry are not Long Island guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
Question 3: have you ever unironically used the term for shizzle?
No.
No.
No, I
Okay.
did not use that term.
Okay. No points there. That's
You were
good. That's
outpacing
good.
Mike for a little while.
Yeah.
That's,
That's
you're-
cool.
On the show.
Oh, on the show, no.
No, but now.
Yeah, now she's
All right,
lost some weight and she's married and she's
Okay.
She's
The
tightened
question.
it up.
The question says, think Snooki from Jersey Shore is smoking hot. Would you say she's smoking hot now?
I'm married.
Irrelevant. Your wife's probably not.
Oh,
listening to
come
this.
on, live a
there's-
little.
Give him the point.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's 2 more douche points.
Yeah, she's
Two more.
Have you
That's
seen what she looks like now?
Yeah, she
gonna
definitely
pull up a
lost
picture.
a lot of after 2 kids.
She's got 2 kids.
I think it's 2 kids now.
Oh.
Yeah, but she still has that same brain.
Yeah,
but
but she
that's-
stopped
that-
drinking. She stopped
There is
drinking.
that.
There's a
That's-
whole new brain there, not on alcohol.
That's where the problems come from. The brain.
Have you ever cut off the sleeves of your shirt to display your guns?
Absolutely.
There we go. 5 more douche points. Michael,
Five.
Five. 5 more douche
Five?
Wow,
points.
that's a big one.
Oh,
5 points.
Yeah, it's only 5
How
points.
many is he up to so far?
Like 20 still.
You are a half a point away from beating me. You're a half a point away.
Wow.
What teenage guy doesn't cut off the sleeves of his shirt?
Well, okay. Well, the question
One
is
that's not
did
douchey.
to display your guns.
Straight one.
Yeah, when I was like 18, when I was 18
Okay,
years old.
I just wanted to clarify. See, that was one of the questions
Yeah,
that
that's
screwed
fine.
me. I didn't cut them off to display my guns. I cut them off because it was hot as a motherfucker out, and I was mowing the lawn. So I just cut.
It accentuates, shows off a little bit of the,
But yeah, I wasn't doing it to make a statement. I was doing it for purpose.
Meavage,
that's
male
what-
cleavage.
I still had to take the points.
Good
That's the
Okay.
point I'm making. I still had to take the points.
All right. Somehow this test seems just wrong against Long Islanders. All right,
You
guys.
can take that up with Bill Nettles.
Yes.
That's it.
He's the one that created it. We're just
Here's
implementing.
the next question that I don't ever recalling actually getting clarification on. But are you a member of the Teabag Party?
No.
Okay, well there's that. That would have been 5 points.
Yeah.
You-
No.
You know who Guy Fieri is?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever have sunglass like burns like him?
Sunglass burns.
Yeah, like he wears his sunglasses because he like driving and he drives in the sun a lot and he gets like
No.
no. Okay, that would have been
That's from the
5 more
tanning-
points.
he's
Yeah,
not
that
fooling
guy is
anybody.
very
That's from the
douchey.
tanning booth.
He always has raccoon like burns.
He's a
Okay.
douche.
Yeah, he's kind of a douche. I am jealous of the food he gets to eat though.
I'm cutting his brake line.
That's all I'm saying.
Nice.
Have you ever referred to a stranger as champ or chief?
Oh, absolutely.
Champ or chief? 3 points. Michael Gregg, you've already officially taken the crown.
Chief. Lot of
Chief was your
Chief's my
go-to.
word.
He's
My boss
actually
does that.
called me that.
But let's just put
Yeah.
the disclaimer out there. There are going to be other guests
Hey,
on the show that are going to take
the
this
mic.
quiz. So just
Okay.
because you're scoring high now doesn't mean that you're going to be the biggest douche
The,
in
the
the
first,
area.
the first two questions that you think really screwed you were the pop collar and the Gotti haircut.
Yeah, but
We're only 2 and 3 points. The other
Okay.
questions that you got were 2, 5, and
Yeah,
3.
there were some 5 pointers.
So it's an even it's a round number. Go back to that
All the
No.
way back to the beginning.
all the way back to the beginning.
are there any negative points? Can I
No.
pull back?
I don't know.
Yeah,
We only got a
Again,
couple.
he's a doctor.
We only got a couple more minutes here, so
Yeah, that
and a
helps.
couple questions. Have you ever ordered and paid for a Miller 64?
No.
No, that was only 2 points. So
That should be 10.
have you ever referred to yourself?
Wait.
Yeah,
But I have gotten malt duck.
malt duck.
Malt duck.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a micro.
what is that?
I
Like
don't
some
know.
sort of
That's gonna be the last
Chinese
question.
40?
Got them at 7-Eleven when I was 18. You could drink at 18, and
Okay.
we used to get the Old English 800. We used to get
Yeah.
the malt duck, and I don't know what it was, but it was alcohol. It was big and it was cheap.
I mean, I definitely had many of OE, some Bud 40s.
Yeah.
St. Ides?
Yeah.
And you remember like
I never
getting
had
to the
St.
bottom,
Ides.
it's all spit and
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
that's
remnants
it's
of
the
something
swill.
that tastes.
It's the
Oh my
swill.
The horse
god!
piss.
The next
I wanna
question,
vomit.
ironically, is have you ever drinking the swill?
Oh.
No, that's not really the question. Yeah. Yes, I have.
I just vomited in the back of my mouth. a
Some-
little.
Have you
Yes.
ever referred to yourself in the third person? Michael Gregg is gonna kick your ass.
Michael's going to crack your back, bitch.
Yeah.
Michael's gonna love you up and down, right?
Michael's disappointed.
Michael likes his chicken spicy.
No, Michael's not jerking off.
No.
No, that was another big one. 5
Sorry.
points.
I got out of hand there. Sorry.
So
Yeah.
out of us, you have beaten me by a few points,
But
But
that's
you-
okay.
but you're still not a douche because it was
He's
the
a
total
great
had to
guy.
be 30,
You're a great
35.
guy.
It's like Joe
So
said. the
congratulations. You
How
are
many
slightly.
points?
I was 12 and a half. He is 10. He is 15.
And if you get to
No,
35,
fine.
you're like the biggest douche on the face of the planet.
doctor. Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I
That's
wonder
like
who-
situation
well,
douchebag.
to be fair,
According
according
to-
to Bill Nettleton.
According
Well,
to Bill
okay.
Bill
Nettleton.
Nettleton's test.
So you can take that up with him.
Yes.
My douche test would be a little
To me,
different. Yeah, spinners,
You are no more douchey than I,
stuff.
and I applaud you for being here, for making the trip out.
All
It
right.
is a blizzard
Yeah,
out
it
there,
is a
Michael Gregg. Thank you for being
driving all the
shitstorm
here.
way out
outside.
here.
Shit storm.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it is not good
now-
outside.
now,
He
we,
made
now
it.
we can pop the cherries here.
Now we can.
We're
No,
gonna
I thought
pop
the
the
cherries were already
cherries.
popped. I thought she was totally eating cherries the whole time.
No, I was eating some granola.
Oh, so there was some granola here.
Time
That's-
to
We're gonna pop the
cherry.
cherries. We're gonna start wetting that dick down right here on Pipe Dream. Thank you all for tuning in. Jefferson, where are you gonna be next week?
I'll be right here, man.
He's gonna be right here. Joe Green, what do you got going on this week in
I'm gonna
comedy? Anything?
be hosting the horses at some point.
Hosting the horses. Remy
December
LaFars,
21st.
December 20. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I know everybody heard that.
December
Okay, so-
21st. Teresa Tolikotsky.
Next week, live on Pipedream, we're gonna have local comic Pat DeBerry.
You're not gonna be here though.
I'm gonna try to Skype in for a little bit from New York City. I'm
All
gonna
right.
go to a bathroom. I'm gonna put Skype on the iPhone, and I'm gonna get it done.
Oh,
So I'm gonna
that's
make
so
an
hot.
appearance.
In the
Yeah.
bathroom. Why?
From the
Well,
third-
realize
from
I
the
have
third-
a work.
Why the bad?
I have a work meeting.
You gotta.
acoustics.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it suits the show, actually. On second thought.
Live from a bathroom in New York City.
Where else?
I'll have to get Skype working because it didn't work at all this
We
evening.
go where the shit
and,
happens.
and the
But
YouTube
Pat-
is only working half
Yeah.
the time.
Well, and Pat DeBerry will be here next week with you guys in the studio.
Michael Gregg, it has been a pleasure. What do you got coming up in the next couple weeks, months?
Next show I got scheduled is Bombers in Troy, January 16th.
January 16th, after the new year. Make it your New Year's resolution to go see Michael Gregg January 16th at Bombers. Which Bombers? The Troy Bombers?
Troy Bombers.
There's so many Bombers
There you
now
go. Oh,
And
and next Thursday I'll be at the Joke Factory in Rochester.
in
Excellent.
Rochester.
And
I
do you have
think
a
that's right.
website?
I have two websites, michaelgregg.com,
With a K. With a K.
MIKAEL, Greg, GREGG.com, and northcountrycomedy.com.
That was one thing that was on the list that I totally wanted to get to with northcountrycomedy.com. We got talking about so many things. I'm even going to stay on because I do want to hear. Tell us a little bit about northcountrycomedy.com because I saw it. I'm like, I didn't know this. Okay. It's right there. Right there.
There you go.
Bang.
All right. So I do a lot of jokes about my wife's from Potsdam. I'm from Long Island. So I started doing a bunch of jokes about the difference between, just certain words and certain phrases from the North Country where she's from.
Sure.
And being from just outside the city. And then I started doing more and more jokes about North Country style, North Country humor, just things like, you're from the North Country if your favorite cooking show is Breaking Bad. Stuff. A site, countrycomedy.com. If you go there, I'm listing open mics, any open mic that's north of I-80 that I can find out about.
Okay.
So far it's regional to the
Awesome.
New England area. Got some shows up on there, and I'm hoping that people just use it as a tool.
Well, we'll try to communicate. I don't know how tech savvy you are, but we'll try to find a way that we can get all that stuff simulcasted and posted up on Comedypipe,
Okay.
and get that going. See if we can get the word
Definitely.
out to more people about that. Because it was one of the things that the research team saw, and I was unaware. So it has been fantastic having you. Thank you all for tuning in to Pipe Dream on the Comedypipe Radio Network. My friends call me 3D. We'll see you next week with Pat DeBerry.
Oh, She's broken now. That was a great show. Thanks for coming on. It was fun. Ah, man, I couldn't. I had no idea I was breathing into the mic.
It was hilarious. You gave me those shit.
I was listening to him talk about the set.
Yeah, and I'm
I was
like,
so into
what
it.
is that? And I back up the mic, and we both looked at each other, and we were like, nope.
What did it sound
You
like?
were just like,
This mic smells wonderful.
yeah, just like, but really paying attention to it. It was like, who's panting?
I thought it was me for a second.
I was like, I backed up too.
Not me. All right.
That's embarrassing.
And in the studio tonight, we have Darth Vader.
As you kept going and going, him and I cracking up. I had trouble writing it because I was laughing so hard. I
You're
remember when I was
breathing.
doing it, I was like,